Good morning, guys. What's going on? Hey, this is Jeff from Fishgang, and guess what we're doing today? We're getting a new ride. One of the best days of your life is getting rid of your old boat and upgrading to a newer boat with more power, more range, and more speed. Today, we're going to make the trek across the state from Melbourne, Florida, all the way to Dunedin, straight across the west side of Florida to the Gulf Coast to pick up our new Invincible 37 with quad 400s. I know you may have seen me on YouTube here on our channel talking about the Camus 34. We love the Camus 34. It's my favorite 34 in the group, but we wanted something with more power, and boy did we get it. We've got, instead of 800 horsepower on the Camus, we got 1600 horsepower on the Invincible and a larger tank with more range, which is what every fisherman wants. And so we look forward to this journey and hope you can come along with us. Hey guys, we made it to Dunedin. We're on the boat. We've pre-programmed our route, and now we got 255 miles to go. The boat's loaded up. We're getting ready to fire up. And so we're going to head down the southwest coast of Florida, all the way through Florida Bay, what otherwise is known as the tip of Florida, straight to Marathon, 85 miles once we get in the bay. But the total mileage today will be around 255 miles. So we figure we'll be there in maybe 4, 5, 5.5 hours max, depending upon how fast we run. Sure. All right, we're getting ready to turn the ignition. Captain Brian is with us. He's captain of the Voyager for Space Perspective, that great new big tourist business that's going to take you 100,000 feet up in the air in a container and a balloon. I'm sure Brian can tell us about that later, but we're fortunate enough to have him with us today. So Brian, why don't you go ahead and fire her up and then tell us about our journey.
All right, let's do it. Yeah, so like Jeff said, we got a long trek ahead of us, 255 miles. Expect pretty much smooth sailing for the whole way, depending on the rain. Maybe, we'll get a little bit of that here and there. We did bring some foul weather gear, and we're ready to go.
All right, can't wait to get out to open water. Pray for good weather. Seas are going to be calm, but we might run into some rain, so we'll come back in a little bit with an update for you guys. Heading to the open water now. We want to get some open water so we can make some distance. We're getting ready to open this thing up. We got about 1.5 miles before we hit the open ocean, and we're making our way through the intercoastal over here north of Tampa and Tampa Bay.
That's it. I'm excited, buddy. You ready?
I'm ready, man.
Let's do it.
Let's open it up. We're 50 miles into our trip from north of Clearwater, and we can see the Skyway Bridge right now. We're right on the outside of Tampa Bay by about 13 miles in the Gulf of Mexico.
It's been going smooth sailing so far. We got about 190 miles to go, and I'm excited. Let's do it. So here's a map of Tampa Bay. We're right off Tampa Bay a couple miles, and we're just running from waypoint to waypoint south down the coast to Marathon.
We're just outside of Tampa Bay right now, the Skyway Bridge. We've got about another 84 miles to go to Sanibel. That'll be our next checkpoint with you guys. And we're running at about 50 knots right now in a head sea of 1 to 2 feet. All right, so we're just checking in with you guys. We just passed Marco Island in 3.5 hours from Clearwater. We're running about 50 miles an hour the whole way. I gotta tell you, Brian, this boat, I don't want to say it exceeds my expectations. I didn't know what to expect, but it's incredible the way this thing has run so far and the time that we're making and how it's handling in this head sea that we've got. We've got about an 11 knot wind. It's 1 to 2 feet. We're heading straight out of the south, so we're heading straight southeast now as we make our way towards Marathon, but we're 90 miles away. And I could never have imagined that we made this kind of time.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, she's a beast of a boat. Fuel mileage, I mean, we got 90 miles to go, so we still got a little bit of a distance ahead of us, but the ground that we've covered in that shorter time is just simply amazing.
You know, what's even more amazing though are these beautiful white Mercury Verados. Just looking at these things, man, they're almost too pretty to want to fish with, right? But they're incredible machines, and it's pushing the boat really well. You know, this boat is 38 feet 10 inches, 37 model, Invincible Catamaran so far. I gotta say, it's another level of boat. Once you step above a 34, which is what we had before, but once you get bigger and bigger with bigger beam and faster, more power engines, more range, it's another level. And that's all I can say. It's going to take you places you want to go, deeper territories, better fishing, different areas that you wouldn't get to in a smaller boat with less range. And so
possibilities are endless now, honestly.
They really are.
You can do what you want to do. You have the range, you have the fuel economy, you can go wherever.
And the features and the functionality of this boat are off the chart too, from the helm station to the mezzanine seating, to the 70-gallon in-deck live well, to the 70-gallon live well we have here. Everything is really well designed, and the fishability is really great, and it's got padded bolsters all the way around, high gunnel. So I mean, Freeman's a great boat too, and so is Camus, but with Freeman's the gunnel's a little bit short for me. You know, I'm an older guy, so I like being able to lean mid-thigh into that gunnel if I'm on a fish, or if it's bumpy out there. Keep everybody a lot safer. No knock against any boat brands out there, but I gotta tell you, I'm really impressed with this boat, and I'm fortunate enough to be the owner of one. So we're looking at the screen now. We can see that we only have 70 miles to our destination, the marathon. We started out in Dunedin, 255 miles due north of Tampa Bay in Clearwater. And you can follow our track lines as we went down the coast. We angled for Sanibel, then we put the GPS on auto guidance, which is the fastest way to get us home in terms of a straight line and avoid any obstructions or water hazards. And so on the yellow box there with the yellow pyramid at the bottom is our house marathon. That's where we're going. And so we started out at 8:30, and our arrival time there is 1 o'clock. So 255 miles in 4.5 hours is pretty incredible. Well, we're home. We made it. Well, guess what? We made it, Brian.
We made it.
Thank you for your help, man.
Very welcome. I appreciate the invite.
255 miles and 5.5 hours from Dunedin, north of Clearwater, all the way to Marathon. Smooth sailing. I gotta tell you, this Invincible rode incredible. The boat has so many great features to it, especially the way its hull is designed, minimal drag. Gets actually better gas mileage the faster you go, even though we did burn probably around 0.85 to 0.9 the whole way down, running 50 miles an hour. But it was a great trip. The boat is home now, and we're pretty whipped. Our day started at 4:30, driving from Melbourne all the way back over to Clearwater, 2 hours and 50 minutes, and then back in the boat 5.5 hours. And guess what we get to do now, Brian?
Drive right back up.
We get to drive right back up, 4.5 hours, 280 miles back to Melbourne. So we did a perfect circle almost by land and sea. I can't wait to do it again.
Nice little tour of Florida. Congratulations on your beast, buddy.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you, man.
Thank you very much. We're gonna have lots of great adventures on this boat, this Invincible 37. She's almost too pretty to fish, but I promise you, we're gonna get some blood on the decks.
She's ready to do some damage.
Let's roll.